everybody, and welcome to Save or Die Outcast. Now, our party is separated from the rest, right? We had the big adventure last time, and now the two of you are headed home. And you've got you're going to be trying to catch up to the clerics, but they've got like a 6-day head start. That's about half the way home. And so for a while, for the most part, it's just going to be an easy walk on the safe Empire roads all the way back home. But
nice.
Interestingly, we get to see the two least closely attached characters together on this, because I think, Renatus has a strong relationship with everyone, and Arrakis is sort of controversial or confrontational with everyone. But I really feel like Grau and August have the least explored between them.
That's true.
Before we get too deep into this, I want to know, what is it like on the road? Is this like an awkward couple of weeks walking home with the person who you're friends with because you have the same social circle, but like maybe you don't hang out a lot? Or what's it like, as I bring up the traveling music for the two of you on the road?
Well, I think in general, Grau is not in a great mental state right now after everything that happened. I mean, he was kidnapped, right? Put in a cage. He was restrained and beaten like a wild animal, right?
Yeah.
He had all those things happen to him that he despises when humans do it to him. And he also, for the first time, got really close to discovering more about his past. But then immediately had it snapped away from him, right? And it feels like whenever he tries to learn more about his past, he gets punished for it. So yeah, it really is not. So it's racing. All these things are racing through his head. But I don't know if he feels like he can talk to August about this.
I think August will kind of bring it up and ask you, so how are you feeling, Grau? Glad we were able to get you out of there.
It was horrible. It was horrible out there. Why can nobody just tell me what I am, where I'm from? Why is everyone that seems to know more about me keen on containing me and trapping me and killing me? I didn't choose this. I didn't choose to be this. Why am I always being punished for just trying to find out why?
I'm not sure. It sucks. I do know where I'm from, and I guess I'm ashamed of it, so I guess it's not always good knowing what happened to you, but I could definitely see myself, if I didn't know about my past or anything like that, wanting to seek it out and figure it out. So I empathize with you, and I'm sorry you got locked up like that. I know what it's like.
Well, thank you for freeing me. It was really kind.
Yeah, anything. We'd do anything for you. You're a friend.
You put your lives on the line for me. It means a lot. But do you think I should just stop digging? Do you think I should just stop trying to figure out what happened? Do you think I should just accept that this is who I am and move on? What else can I do? Every time I try to make strides, every time I try to move forward, I get stopped immediately in my tracks.
Do you like where you are now? Do you like adventuring with me, Arrakis, and Ren?
I mean, it's fun from time to time. I like seeing the big cities that we go to travel together. I like the meals that we eat together. That's fun. I guess it's nice to help you out and be helped out by you. It feels... I don't know if I know what home feels like, but I'm guessing that this is kind of what humans mean when they talk about it, right?
Family, friends, and company. But if you're not satisfied, like if you still feel this gnawing in you, like you need to know what happened in the past, then we're going to be here to help you out. I don't think you should stop if that's how you feel.
I definitely feel like I mean, the fireflies helped you, right?
Yeah.
And they helped you get me.
He did help us find and get you.
Yeah.
I don't know to the extent, but he was there. He helped us in combat. He wanted to find you and his friends. It seems like our relationships with the fireflies are actually pretty good now.
Okay. Well, I hope that Ren doesn't still want to capture and kill one.
I don't think he ever wanted to kill one. I think it was more about Ren feels like he needs to get his wife back, and that this was like an easy / possible way. But there's going to be a million ways for us to get her back.
I think when we get back, we should try talking to the fireflies more.
Sure, we have to find them. That's the hard part, right?
Yeah.
They didn't even give us a location to meet him in.
It's just... It feels like they're hunted just like me, and if there's a place I belong and people I can relate to, I probably will find more of them with the fireflies.
I can see that. I think we should probably just be open and honest with August at this point. The ladies helped us out more than anyone, giving us this, and I'll point towards my magic bag of holding. Done everything in her power to protect you, me, and the others. I think we can have an open and honest conversation with her at least.
I think that's a good idea. I still don't know to which extent she has open and honest conversations, and I have a feeling that she probably keeps me around for more nefarious reasons, but we will find out. If I'm alongside you, I definitely feel a little bit better around her.
We'll find out your past and where you're from. And then we'll help, well, hopefully along the way we can help Ren fix and get his wife back.
Is it just us two traveling, or do we have like an entourage right now?
It's just you. You sent the entourage back with all of your, with the clerics that you were supposed to be gathering together.
Okay. As Grau is
To
still
make it quicker, because we we want to like catch up. Is it okay if we're on Schnickelfritz, both of us, or can Schnickelfritz only take one?
Schnickelfritz only takes one, but also I think she left with Stacy. Didn't Stacy take Schnickelfritz?
No, I remember, unless we want to like fix retcon / I remember I put Schnickelfritz specifically in the place where all the other horses were. He was there with us originally.
Oh,
but
well, in that case, you have Schnickelfritz, but Schnickelfritz.
can only take one.
I mean, you can carry two temporarily for short periods of time, but it's not
a big
gonna,
deal.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think okay, so we're with the horse?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I mean, but it only carries one of us, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I think Grau is going to plop down to bear form because it is more comfortable to walk that way, and he feels like he's not in a chatty mood. He's still very introspective, still pretty depressed. Like he hasn't been feeling great already before all this happened. This hasn't really helped him. And I think he just wants to be a bear for a bit, especially because in the city he was in human form so much.
Yeah, you're saying the
August,
situation is unbearable.
When you
Sorry.
I think August,
I'm
when you
so
turn
sorry.
into bear form, will just like kind of lament to you, and monologue a little bit, just explaining like, you know, Grau, I don't know what to do either. All of my family's dead. All I have is you guys and Ren. What am I supposed to do? Go back and take a capital without an army? Do I even care about, you know, that place and my past? And you can just tell that August is very confused, doesn't know what to do, doesn't really know if he still cares about being a prince. He doesn't feel like a reason to go back and like take it over, you know? So he just bitches at you for an hour or two about his past.
I think
Does it have the quality of bitching, or does it have the quality of like opening up to a friend or therapist? Like, what is the tone?
Probably like opening up to a friend or therapist of like, he is just confused, you know? He doesn't even know if he cares about his homeland because everything there that he loved is gone and dead. He doesn't know if he cares about the people, you know? So it's more of like he's trying to talk at Grau to find his own answer, but it's just not coming to him yet.
Yeah,
Mhm.
makes sense. He's just trying to work through it, basically, right?
Yeah, and you're a bear, so it's just
Yeah,
like let me
I will
talk to
listen
this fucking bear.
patiently. Have like not a lot of thoughts about it because this whole like
Yeah.
prince, ruler, the dynamics of politics are all still very strange to him. And he feels like he can't relate to this at all. And it seems like a lot of the stuff that you complain about seems stuff that he can't really.
It's high level, yeah.
Yeah, but he's gonna listen and make mental notes of everything. Maybe learn some stuff.
Okay.
Well, it's on I want to say the third day of your traveling. Like after you've gotten to the city, you split up from the rest of the party. You've been traveling on the road for 3 days.
I would have begged for healing by now. Can I have that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just go back to 24 because I think you can cast like 3 or 4, right? And I was at
Yeah.
13. Okay, cool.
There's not a combat encounter coming up unless the players decided to be so. So this is fine. Earlier you had mentioned about giving up and the pain of your situation.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if this is going to help or hurt. But that night, that third night, you have an odd dream. I don't know exactly what bears dream in, but this is a dream of smells.
Oh.
It is the scent of fear.
Uh-huh.
Not your fear, someone else's fear. You have no reason necessarily to be afraid unless you're afraid when others are afraid.
Like the scent I get when I've just tracked down like a deer.
Right, when the deer is like running from you, or more actively, like when the deer is cornered by you and you've got it cornered.
Mm-hmm.
But not quite that like same thrill of I have it cornered. You don't have the emotion of joy running through you, but you do just have fear of the deer.
Interesting. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the general image I get. It's yeah. Okay. I see.
Yeah, and there's not a lot of visuals to go through. It's just sort of the same old. You're in some sort of woodsy area. You're not really seeing the trees, but you just have the idea of being in the woods or being away from civilization, and the smell of something nearby. Afraid. Would you like to make any skill checks, any proficiency checks, or tell us what you're feeling in this moment?
I think. Well, I feel like Gar's been trying to, throughout this whole process, trying to connect to it's Nadinus, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nadinus a lot. I think. Can I make a religion check?
Yes, please.
Is that do I just wisdom?
We can do a wisdom check because I don't think you actually have the religion proficiency.
Yeah.
You're not a civilized bear.
All right, I'll make you a wisdom check.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Oh,
a
and
19.
what a wisdom check that is. 19 plus 13 is a 32. Yes. Your instincts to turn your mind towards Nadinus are good. As you do so, the dream becomes a little bit more clear. It's not just fear, but it's fear and blood and something else. Something less violent, something sort of soft and warm and fuzzy, something rich, but not edible.
Huh. Something warm, something fuzzy, something rich, something like a really nice nest that I've made for hibernation, like a cave that I've, a really nice warm spot, maybe something like that.
No, not quite like that. Something. It reminds you a little bit, just a little bit, of August and Renatus. That sort of like warm richness.
Okay. Yes. I understand. Interesting. Okay.
You must eat me.
Huh.
The dream passes. You wake up later, not immediately, but just you wake up with the very clear, stark memory of it, and how the dream got stronger as you turned your thoughts towards this mysterious goddess who somehow is empowering you with spells, but with whom you don't actually have a clear, strong relationship. Just this nebulous deity out there, patron. Do you mention any of this weird dream to your traveling companion who you're not that close with?
I think for now, I think Grau has to think about it. It's all very nebulous. He has some ideas of what's going on, right? But yeah, you know what? I think he will relay this to August actually, because he does not know that much about the gods, and it seems like August has at least some knowledge about the gods, and interpreting stuff like that. I think, yeah, he relays this like very vague dream slash what would you call it, connection to the god.
Will you explain it again, Koibu?
Yeah, well, it's a dream of smells, of fear, and then he turns his thoughts towards Nadinus, the goddess that he's sort of connected with, and the dream focuses a little bit, and he can also smell blood, and this sort of like warm, rich, soft scent that doesn't smell like food, but reminds him, I don't know if you say this part, but it reminds him of of August and Renatus.
Yeah. Like, you're saying like the smell reminds me of their scent, or are you saying the feeling of the scent reminds me of feelings associated with them?
That one.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense.
Has Arrakis told us his like backstory a little bit? I can't remember. It's been a long time. I know out of game, like he killed the wizard because, you know, he was gonna get caught or whatever. He woke up. Do I know that as August?
I think he shared that story already, right?
I think so. I think I talked to him about it. I think maybe you're having dreams about how we felt, how we got here. The blood thing kind of reminds me of Arrakis's original story of he was scared. Then it sounded like he accidentally killed someone. Then you turned, and then you started, you know, getting the feeling of us, me and Renatus, and what we're going through. But I kind of shrug. I'm not sure why you'd be dreaming of that.
I don't know. You think... Maybe Grau's reminded a little bit of when he was in battle with you guys. I mean, Grau's killed people, right? In bear form. So the scent of fear is probably similar to that as well. And associated with feelings regarding that. I think Grau doesn't really feel like guilt over killing people or whatever if they were in combat, because it's not like... Because I feel like usually this was in like combat situations for self-defense or something, but... It definitely... I feel like it would remind him of this as well, or that's what he would be thinking about. Maybe... Now he's thinking of the vision that he saw in the mirror. Back in the tomb. That, like, horrible monster. August, maybe in the time before I can remember things, maybe I did something bad. And I got punished for it. And this is why I'm like this now. But that feeling of warmth, and it's like... It's like when someone takes care of you or makes sure that you're safe. I'm not really sure what to make of it.
I'm not sure. Keep it in mind. Let's take another night. Maybe the gods will send you another dream. They'd sure ignore mine.
Well, it's a great idea because sure enough, the next night, have another resonance, another smell that comes to mind. The fear is still there. The blood is still there. That like soft, rich, luxurious smell is still there. But there's also the distinct smell of like sizzling meat, of like barbecue or something roasting over a spit or or something being cooked.
Okay.
Give him a gastronomy check or whatever.
Yeah. What wait, so this is a scent that I'm smelling this right now in real life?
No, in your dream on the second
This
night.
this is in the second night in the
Yeah.
dream. Okay, got it. Huh. And okay, it's something being roasted, it's something being cooked. But I can't really identify what it is, right?
Give me a perception check at advantage. You've got a pretty good nose.
Yeah.
That's what the advantage is
Roll
for.
twice.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh, no idea what the hell this is. You've never.
Yeah.
So, I mean, meat is meat, but
Yeah.
subtype? No idea.
Does it remind me of like sitting at camp together, roasting something together, like familial, like
It's
like a
too much meat to be camp with you guys. This is
like a feast?
this. Yeah, it could be feast, something of that magnitude.
Oh. Okay. I'm so fucking confused.
If you relate it to August and ask him, I'll kind of say maybe you're dreaming of the before times, maybe before you were a bear, or maybe just before you have memory. Maybe you were with a camp of people, you were fearful one night, then some blood happened. I was turned into like a bullywug, so maybe that's the scent that you're getting that's like familiar. And now maybe you're having a dream of the night or before. It's kind of where I'm at.
Maybe. I feel like it's not directly related to you or Renatus. It's more like
Like a feeling of,
you guys are like the two of you, you're like family.
yeah.
And I don't know what that's like, but whatever I see in you, I guess reminds me of that. I don't know. I don't know what's happening to me.
I wouldn't fret. It's not a big deal. We're just, could just be your brain playing tricks as we go along the road. Or it could have meaning, and you'll, surmise it eventually. Something to talk to Autumn about. It's at least a clue.
Being pulled in so many different directions. When I try to investigate, I get punished and I get captured and I get beaten. But then when I think about giving up, suddenly these dreams come in and
You ever thought out about reaching out to a different god than Nadinus? Maybe Martha? The god of life?
maybe.
I only ask that because it seems like you're something special. I think maybe Nadinus and Martha had a hand in you. Shrug.
Would
Worth a
Nadinus
try.
not get mad if I talk to someone else?
I'm not sure. The gods they work in mysterious ways, it seems. But if you came to be, I think both would have to have a hand in you.
I wouldn't really know how to talk to Martha.
Did someone give you a Martha amulet?
It was an Nadinus one, right?
I think it was an Nadinus one
was
that
a
you got
Nadinus one?
from some of the
Yeah.
clerics priests. It was at Burke, right? Way
Yeah.
down here
Yeah.
on the map. Yeah. And for reference, our party, we're a few days out of the city now. I think you guys are somewhere in this region up here to the north. There we go.
Okay.
We're somewhere in this area, not quite at Oriton yet. Oriton is where you saw those wanted posters and had to cross the bridge, and there was like the town on the island. And then Burke, Fetter's Hot Spring is where you found the new members of your party, and Burke is where you talked with all those clerics, and then Papari is the way home.
I'll point to his amulet. Maybe try to talk to Dinas through that. It's sad you got me. I didn't really pay attention in religions class.
It's okay. You're helping me
And
a lot.
Cheese isn't doing me any favors, and I don't think that you were made by Cheese after seeing you through that mirror.
No, it's good. It's good to talk to you. I feel like at least I have someone to talk to.
At least you have a path that you're able to go down. I don't even know what to do.
I think for now, I think Grau will be trying to commune with, trying to talk to Nadinas, especially through this amulet, every night before he goes to sleep. See how that influences his dreams, see if there's anything more revealed to him. He's definitely very confused at this time.
Well, I think that's going to help because that very next night, you are awash in new senses. Now you can actually see the woods around you. You're not just aware of the concept of being in woods. You see trees and branches and birds, and you can smell the fear of something that's just out of view, just beyond, like maybe over the hill or down the valley a little bit. You can smell the fear. The blood associated with the same creature. Something else is sizzling like a big feast, like the smoke of a large camp. There's also the smell of freshly turned earth and freshly broken stone. And that other smell, that sort of like rich, luxurious one,
Yeah.
it comes to your mind sharply now. You remember this smell in the Temple of Martha when you were looking into that donkey that gave birth. It's the smell of incense. It's the smell of ceremonial richness.
Okay.
Is there
So we're
anything
thinking
while
of-
you're in the dream state for a little bit longer? Is there anything
So
you
it
want to
seems
say,
like
do checks to make?
it seems like I'm remembering something from a religious ceremony here. Maybe related to Martha. But possibly just anyone that uses like incense and stuff. The feast, the grilled meat, right? Yeah. So, okay. I think while in this dream, does it seem like Nadinas is the one responding, talking to me here? Does it seem like a two-way thing? Does it seem like my appeals to her are being heard in any way?
Give me another wisdom check.
Because like Grau knows what it feels like to be in tune with her. It's very natural to him. That's where his powers come from, right? That's where the place he goes when he uses his powers. So it would feel like pretty familiar, right?
And yes, this has that same sense of like when you're casting a spell and you channel some other power from somewhere else. It's that same sense of like something is channeling these smells and these sights.
Yeah.
But there's also it doesn't feel like a memory. It feels like something that is happening now, or something that's happening in the future, maybe a portent, or it's
like a
talking
thing,
about
like a thing in the distance that I can go to.
maybe
Yeah.
that wouldn't fill this as well.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So what I'll relay to August the next day is that I feel like there is some big religious ceremony related to Nadinus, probably happening somewhere that is drawing me towards it.
Can you smell it when you're awake?
I can't, right?
Mm-mm.
Maybe
It seems like the dreams are getting more clear, so maybe we're getting closer.
who would hold a ceremony like this? Maybe the elves in the forest, maybe the druids, maybe.
I kind of shrug. I don't know anything about elves. I don't know much about druids. My natural guess would be humans, if they're, or dwarves, if there's fresh stone being cracked, it sounds like. And if the incense reminds you of those other clerics of Martha, then that's where it would lead me to believe it's probably happening. But incense is incense.
Yeah. We will have to.
Just keep your nose about you, and over the next few days of our journey, if you even get a hint of a whiff, we can go on that way.
Okay.
Well, the journey continues. You make a little more progress. And the next night, same dream. Same exact dream, except the visuals aren't as crisp. They're not as clear. They're like twisting and kind of like streaking as they twist, like spiraling in towards a center, like getting sucked into a whirlpool. Just kind of you can still smell. In fact, you might even be able to hear something in the distance. Voices or growling or some sort of vocalizations of a creature, not a consistent sound, not like a rushing of a waterfall, but like the rising and falling of animal noises or conversation.
Okay.
Perception check?
Your visuals are twisting. You're being sucked into something.
Yeah. And like the things that I'm hearing and smelling, it seems like they're getting more distant.
The things you are smelling aren't. The things that you're hearing for the first time, and they seem really faint.
Yeah.
The smells are just as strong as ever, but your vision is spiraling.
And where are we at now? Like Removed or Coraton?
We've just passed Coraton. You walked in and you've walked out and you're coming down.
If he explains that to me, I would say they're spiraling, kind of like being devoured. It's maybe the devouring marsh? I shrug.
Could be. Maybe there's a ceremony going on there somewhere. I really don't know where.
Could very much be at Autumn's. You know, Autumn got all the clerics there.
Yeah. I feel like last time my goddess wanted me to go to Autumn, the signals were more clear. I don't know what's happening. I mean, hold on, I'm looking at the map.
A whirlpool, I think, is also a symbol of Malchus, the goddess or the god of chaos.
Do you have I mean, I know you were brought up in the upper circles, you know all sorts of things about the gods and life and society, but do you actually have a religion proficiency, Mooten?
No, I have reading, writing etiquette, nothing that would tie me to the gods, I would say.
Cool. Just checking. Well, maybe there's nothing to be done about it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think we'll keep going.
I guess we will keep going on our path and see.
Is there, in this town, is there a cleric?
In the next town that you pass through, you can
In
stop
Coraton, I guess?
You've already passed Coraton, but the
then
next
in
place you're headed
Springview?
to, Springview, you can stop and see if there's a cleric in the area. There are priests, but no clerics in Springview.
It's fine.
Fortunately.
I'll ask Grau if he wants to do that. Maybe they could tell you about a ceremony that's happening.
Yeah, I was gonna say we could probably just ask someone about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can stop off in Springview and ask if there's some sort of ceremony happening.
Explain the dream to the father or the mother.
Yeah, I think for a second to see if I want to divulge all the details. I think I do.
You can share these details. These pretty clear. Well, I guess they're not very clear, but it's a dream, and it's an unusual dream with
Recurring.
distinct moments within it that you can really pull out. And the person, the brother or sister with you, they're not clerics, they're just priests, listens, and cocks their head to the side when you're done telling your story and say, that's most unusual. There's a wedding coming up in a week, but there's no... I don't know why anyone would smell fear at a wedding.
Yeah.
Or blood.
Huh.
Who's the wedding for?
Lord... Lord Stell. His last wife passed a few years back. He's getting married again. It's big to do here in town.
What about the whirlpool?
Something that brings you in, something from which you cannot escape. It could be fate, it could be destiny. It could be Malchus, god of chaos. You're a human after all, the god of humans.
Yes.
Could be Seor, god of crafting. His symbol has 3 spirals in it, but more constructive. Fresh earth, fresh stone. That sounds slightly constructive. The blood and fear could be Ponos, god of suffering. His symbol is also a bit of a spiral.
A lot of spirals in the symbology of the gods, so it thinks that they try to make it a little bit more clear from each other.
What are we going to do about it anyways? Like, if there is a wedding and there is fear, who are us to go and, I don't know, make it whole? I shrug.
Yeah. What could you do?
Well, maybe there's danger waiting at the wedding that we can prevent, but I don't...
Who's to say it's even this town, though, that we're being drawn to, you know? Let's spend a night here, and hope there's another dream, I shrug.
I also don't know. I mean, there's no festivities, there's no... Okay, yeah, there's no dream.
There's no dream here. Yeah, you guys spend the night, and it's nice quiet. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe the smell of fear and blood in your nightly dreams is bad, right? Maybe it's a warning sign that you shouldn't, or who knows? I'm really just kind of throwing things out there to see if anything sticks with you. But tonight, peaceful, easy night.
What do you want to do, Grau? We could go back towards Koraton and Rothan, or we could continue on. Shrug.
Grau's still trying to figure out this feeling of this rich feeling of what that somehow relates to the relationship between Ren and August. What he sees in that, how he relates it to them. When was the first time Koibu... When was the first time that Grau felt something like that, or felt a feeling that he relates to that scent? Is there a specific situation he remembers? A specific scenario?
It's gonna be the donkey in the Temple of Martha. It's definitely an incense smell.
Yeah.
And so maybe it's not so much that it reminds you of them. It's a rich, decorative smell that, fancy prince who might have a kingdom to take over might have about him.
Mm-hmm. So it's a feeling
Definitely
of like
has that like
regality.
Yeah, of like really fanciness.
Okay. And you said this wedding was for a lord here in town?
It is, yes.
And it's like when is it?
It's coming up in a week, 7 days.
We have that time to spare?
The other people are going to be a month behind you on the road. You've got lots of time.
Yeah.
If it's a week, then we have more time to go off and figure out if this is actually the place.
Mm-hmm. Like look around a little bit, maybe visit neighboring towns, talk to some clerics there and stuff.
Yeah.
See if more dreams arise, and then in a week we maybe just check out the wedding. We crash the wedding.
Let's head back to Koraton.
Yeah.
And we'll talk to a cleric there or something.
Yeah. You head back to Koraton, taking an extra day. No more dreams. Everything nice and easy. Except for whatever, feelings you have in between these things. Get back to Koraton. There's definitely clerics here to be had. Pull up my handy dandy random cleric generator. Yes. The cleric of Verasi. The average size but very old woman who's kind of got a quiet voice and a quiet face, draped in the black robes with the white V across her chest. This isn't the sort of attacking army leading cleric. This is more of the I sit at the temple, and when your time to die has come and you've got like a cancer that's killing you and your life is painful and suffering, I will end your life in a peaceful way and help guide you on to the next stage of life. This is the more traditional cleric of Verasi, not the butcher, but the spiritual guide through death.
Okay. Sorry, and we're
You're at Koraton.
Yeah. August, what do you think?
I think you can talk to her.
Yeah. Like,
It's just a dream.
Yeah, I think Grau has like some hesitation towards, I think, some of these clerics, but it seems like, he's too desperate. He's got to do it. Yeah.
Okay, we'll go to the temple.
Yeah, you go to the temple. There's the cleric. She's sitting by like a big old pool of water that sits at the very center of the temple. There's some torches and candelabras burning around. This is not a village. This is like an end of life sort of. Yeah, this is sort of like a somber, sad sort of temple-ish area. You walk in and you can sort of, it's got the trappings of death around it, but it also has people who have left flowers recently at some stone markers in the area. There's a group of people all gathered around a very sick and enfeebled person laying on a stretcher out in front of the actual altar itself, saying their final goodbyes. And then there's this elderly cleric woman who's hanging out in the middle near some pews, just kind of like off to the side of the main aisle that walks through. So you could walk past her really easily, or if you wanted to stop and talk to her, she'd be sitting there waiting for you. The temple's fairly large. There's a big golden statue of Varasi on the back. It's definitely a new one now that the Empire's taken over. They've come and like built a beautiful statue of the goddess of Varasi, wielding her sword and her shield with, a stern face and a helmet of war. But that's not the vibe you get from the temple. That feels like a new addition to the place. You get more of the last stop on your road trip sort of vibe from this temple.
I see. Okay. I probably make sure that the amulet that I was wearing is not around my neck for this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, you can go and talk to her if you'd like.
Yeah, I will talk to her, tell her that I'm lost, tell her about my dreams, and hear what she has to say.
Do you mention to her that you are a druid or a cleric
No.
or... Okay.
For all she's concerned, I'm just a random traveler or human.
Just a random traveler coming by being like, hey, cleric, I've got some troubles.
Yeah.
She'll tell you that the gods are guides through this life. Rossi is the Grim Reaper. She takes you to the other side. Stare, shows you the right path. Martha helps guide your hands in healing people. If a deity is reaching out to you, it's because they want to show you something or they want to help you in some way. You should trust them, whatever it is, and you should lean into it, whatever that might be.
Mm-hmm.
And then she'll ask you if you think this is a warning or a guiding hand or what to you. I know you don't have perfect information, but what sort of vibes are you getting from this? What is your knee-jerk interpretation, if any?
Oh, okay. So internally, thinking about this, not saying this out loud, the fact that the smell of fear that he got, right, is not like him being afraid of something. It's not something to be afraid of. It's someone else who is afraid, either of him or of someone else, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's probably going to relay that he doesn't feel like this is a warning that's trying to push him away. He probably thinks... I think it's more something that it's trying to pull me, trying to guide me, and trying to put me in the right place at the right time,
Something that's pulling you towards blood and fear and meat and earth and stone and incense. It's a strange collection of smells.
Yeah.
Actually, she's an old woman, so that's a strange collection of smells. Oh, where do you think you might find such scents together?
Well, I would think probably... It seems like during some sort of ceremony or festivity.
Like a feasting of flesh with the incense. What is the earth? What is that?
Could it be... What season are we in, Koibu?
It is October, so it's middle of the autumn. Early autumn, actually.
The earth. I mean, maybe the wilderness, the forest, the underground, I'm really not sure, madam. I've smelled a lot of earth in my time.
The gods do enjoy working in mysterious ways. Or so they say. I think that it's a two-way street of communication. To me, I can hear the thoughts of Verasi as I help lay people down to rest. It's clear what her intentions are, and it's gotten clearer with age. I think it's not that they're mysterious, it's that it's hard to hear them from so very far away. Someone is trying to tell you something. Do you have a feeling of who that might be?
Think for a second. I think it's probably Nadinus.
Really? Nadine, the most antisocial of all the gods? The one who cares not for society, but just for the woods and the trees and the birds and the bees? A strange deity. No offense, young lad. It's just we don't often get people communing with Nadinus unless they're some sort of, I don't know, woodsman or... What do you do for a living, son?
Bro, I had an idea.
Uh-huh.
And I'll whisper it in your ear, disregarding the cleric lady. I think we need to get out of the cities. I think we need to go more to where Nadinus is. Just venture into the woods and get lost and figure it out.
I look at the cleric. It turns out we have to leave. There's a very important matter we have to attend to.
Of course.
Thank you, ma'am. You did spark something, though.
I am here to serve the people as best as I can.
Yes. Good luck with your business, ma'am.
I'll kind of give her
you do not have need of my services for many years to come.
I'll give her a look. The people, not the kingdom, and I want to get a gauge of her reaction.
Yeah, give me a charisma check to read those subtle things that might play across her face.
Not good.
Well, you might not get if she's trying to hide something.
Yeah.
But she does nod a couple of times and goes, I've been here since long before the Empire, and I will be here, a little while longer yet. My position is for the everyday man. She kind of points to that person on the stretcher with their family surrounding them at the feet of the golden gilded statue. It is for these folks that I am here.
I nod. Well, thank you. It's good to see that there's still some Verasi clerics who serve the greater cause, I say.
Well, you shouldn't say that too loudly, but thank you, sir.
All right, Grau. Let's go.
Let's go. And I guess we venture somewhere into the woods.
We get lost.
Well, let's take a look at the map, because there's no woods nearby.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's some woods way the fuck over here, and then there's the woods down over by the Devouring Marsh, and then there's also the woods back
I
up
guess
here.
it doesn't need to be the woods, right? It could just be the nature.
The open grasslands.
Yeah.
Well, you're
I'll
at
say we
Cortan.
venture
You're on either side of the river. That's right.
It's up to Grau, actually. Which way do you feel like we should go, Grau?
I want to turn into a bear and just smell around if there's anything that interests me. Just based on feelings.
Yeah, based on feelings, you get drawn off the road and into the grasslands, due east.
Right.
We go.
All right. Let's take our first break here. We'll come back on the other side with August and Grau, forest friends forever.
Beautiful.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Outcasts. Our party is traveling across the plains, and the dreams don't pick up again, not until you begin to turn southward.
Uh-huh.
And once you turn southward, they start again. Faint. I'll just some fear and blood, and the swirling image. And 3 days into your travel across, and the plains, you don't really know where the fuck you are. There's not like
we get lost.
or a hill. 3 days into your, you see a cloud of dust being kicked up and headed your way. The sign of riders, many riders going at a high speed, kicking up big old plumes behind him.
This is a dream?
No. This is
Oh.
this is the two of you walking down the plains.
Okay. You said it's moving towards us?
Yeah. It's coming. Something on horseback is coming.
Okay. Is there... We should probably hide somewhere and try to figure out what's going on.
How far are they?
Oh, maybe a mile or so. Problem is with the plains, there's
There's not
no
much
good
to
hiding
hide.
spots. I mean, you could
Nope.
just lay down in the grass,
Yeah.
but Schnickelfritz is big. How are you
Yeah.
gonna hide Schnickelfritz?
Can't really hide him. And his dreams have been picking up again?
Yeah, once he started turning south, like you walked 3 days out of Coroton, and then you started going southward, and the dream started to pick up. And it's been a few days since then, or maybe it was 2 days out and then 3 days down. It's been about 5 days, and you're somewhere in this southerny zone, not close enough to the river to see it.
Maybe this is something Nadinus wanted us to run into? Can you contact her while I try and hide Schnickelfritz? I'll get Schnickelfritz on his his tummy, and I'll start cutting grass to cover him with as best I
Excellent.
can.
All right.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, Growl.
sure. I mean, I'll try to talk to Nadinus, but I feel like this is not the best situation. I feel like this is not a thing you could do just on the fly, like you're calling her up, right?
Yeah, probably not. Maybe. I mean, they say super powerful clerics can call upon the gods at will. Why the last age ended is the clerics were so damn powerful, they were calling on the gods, and the gods eventually just got pissed and said, fuck you, and destroyed the world.
Yeah.
But you haven't been able to just dial them up and see what's up.
Yeah, I mean, I'll try to see if Nadinus has anything to say about this.
How do you do that?
I'm in bear form as this is happening. I'm just gonna lay down in the grass, feel the grass between my claws, smell it, smell the pollen in the air and the. I guess it's autumn, but feel the nature around me, hear the sounds, maybe feel the insects crawling around, and lean into that feeling, like the stream that I plunge into when I try to contact her.
Well, you can commune with the grass, but you might have needed more time to really settle into this space, because before you can fully feel it all out, Growl, I'm imagining, will nudge you, because you can see what appears to be maybe 8 people on horseback with lances or just long spears really coming down in your direction. And this is a great opportunity to ask Growl, when you're traveling, what sort of spells do you keep on hand? Just out of curiosity, not that you need them.
Yeah, so we've said that if we're out in the wilderness, I carry an entangle spell with me. And then a cure light wounds. I get 2 level 1s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so usually cure light wounds and entangle. And then level 2, I get 1, right?
Yeah.
And that one's usually cure moderate wounds.
Okay. Well, you got to be in human form to cast these. They're a few rounds out.
Yeah.
August.
Are their spears leveled or up?
They are forward. Yeah.
These guys are gonna fucking kill us, Growl.
What reason would I guess I'm in bear form? I just growl back.
We can't take 8 of them. We should just give up.
They begin to spread and fan out instead of being a single file line. They come to 8 abreast.
Put my hands up. There's no fighting this.
They quickly circle you.
For all these guys concerned, I'm a bear.
That's true.
So I just stand around looking afraid. It feels like if I was to put up the guise of being a bear, I'd probably try to run away, but it seems like I can't really do that, right?
Yeah.
We're surrounded.
Yeah.
So I will just look like a frightened tiny little baby bear.
will both of you make me charisma checks as you stand there surrendering?
There we go.
And the big bear tries to pretend to be a little bear.
Oh, shit.
You're a bear.
Wow, you're
What
not
are you gonna do?
convincing as a little bear. Your claws are just too big. But August, as you glance around at these people, you recognize one of these writers. You
guy we let go?
recognize Mickey, the guy that you let go a couple years ago now, was it? Maybe not years ago.
Probably like 1 year ago.
Yeah. Or this spring, probably.
And I remember his name too.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give him a nod. How's it going, Mickey? We're not gonna have any problems, are we?
Pauses and goes, ah, shit. The other plainsmen look to him with like, what do you mean, oh shit? Mickey goes, this guy, I owe him my life. He was traveling with a bear last time. I told you, he told you about that incident. And you can see all of the plainsmen like sigh with a heavy heart, and their spears point up in the air. And they go from like ready to rob you of all of your goods to just like, well,
Fuck.
shit. Fuck.
What a waste of time.
No.
Yeah. Mickey calls after you. What are you doing out here? Thought you would be dead by now.
Why would I be dead? We're out here, kind of shrug. I'm out here with my bear and, we're just getting lost in the wilderness. He's having some dreams.
Bear's dream?
Bear's dream, just like you and me, yeah. I'll give him like the briefest description. You know, he's smelling fear, smelling blood, the whirlpool. It's like a big banquet. Maybe like a wedding. Smells regal. I shrug.
How the hell do you know what a bear's dreaming?
We have a special connection.
Mickey exchanges looks with the other riders, and they kind of begin to snicker to themselves. Yeah. Yep, just a man and his bear getting lost in the woods to explore their special connection.
Are we free to go?
The other riders look to Mickey. He nods his head. Yeah.
All right, we'll see you around. I don't have anything to give him, so I'll ask him if they want to do lunch.
No.
All right.
Nope. They're off looking for interlopers, someone that they can, steal from. They'll tell you that you might run into other riders out here who might be less friendly because Mickey's not amongst them. So if you want to be safe, you should stick to the roads or to the river.
Can you just
or
give him
somewhere
your
a little
name
bit more
or
civilized.
something?
Do they have a token they could offer you of safe passage? That would be nice. That would be convenient,
Be
but I
convenient.
don't think they are that convenient. This is more of a dispersed group of tribesmen who are all doing sort of their own thing without a ton of... I mean, there's some uniformity, but there's not like a secret handshake that they've got established that some people are cool.
I shrug. I'll just tell him I know you, and I'm following my bear, man.
All right.
Is what it is.
They leave you be?
Nadinos will guide us. Just turn into a hippie, so yeah, we go.
All right. You go.
Just following the
You had-
vibes.
Just following the vibes, man. All right.
Growl will
We
do
head
like a little
south.
bow as they
As
they leave. Yeah.
All right. Well, we head southward, following the strength of the dreams. And a few days later, you find yourself near the edge of a forest along a road. This must be right near the Devouring Marsh, between somewhere between Garfeld and Pipari, somewhere in this, actually probably between Brunth and Pipari, some sort of forested section in here. Now the voices are a little bit more clear. There's a chanting that you can hear in the background, like a group of people together murmuring something.
What are they saying?
it's a chant or a murmur that is you can hear the tonality of it, but the words are indistinct.
I think Growl's gonna go into human form for this interaction.
Okay. So you on the road, having woken up from more, I say one of these dreams, you take human form. The two of you and Schnickelfritz. Go ahead.
Yeah. So we heard the chanting, in the dream. Yeah.
In the dream. Yeah.
Got it. Sorry. Okay. I think. So we're getting even more vibes of a ceremony, some sort of. Okay. Yeah, Growl will.
Go ahead.
Growl will definitely assume human form and tell August about it.
Sounds like we're getting closer.
Yeah, I think so too.
As
I think
you
I was
walk
right
on the
about the
road,
devouring marsh.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm somewhat of a religious genius, I guess, huh?
You really do know a lot about the gods, August. It's pretty impressive.
As you walk along the road or towards the woods, Growl, definitely only Growl can smell this because you've got that. We talked earlier about how sharp your bear nose is.
Oh, yeah.
You can smell the scent of sizzling meat. Succulent, sizzling meats.
And this time in real life.
Yes.
Okay. Like a dog trying to tell a human where to go, that he's smelling something, he needs to go that direction. Growl will go up to August and point in the direction with his nose and be like, "We gotta go this way. I can smell something and feel something."
I'll jump up on Schnickelfritz and I'll follow you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You can follow him into the woods. Altus Cavern, why are you not playing? Hold on. I need this song. You head into the woods as Roll20 just completely crashes. And the smells become stronger. That sizzling meat, eventually you can now smell it. And there's like campfire smoke coming off. And it's not just meat. There's also some fish in there. Mm-hmm. There's some good scents coming out of these woods up ahead. I'm going to bring you to a map as soon as I can get the track to play appropriately.
August is going to mate with an elf. Just want to let everyone know. I'm calling it now.
Just in general in life?
Just in general, yeah.
Okay. You're going to find an elf chick and...
Oh, yeah.
Mate her.
Huge into elves.
Fine. We won't play that track. I'm so sorry for the technical problems.
It's all right, physics, just edit this out.
You know, technology is the vehicle of esports, and sometimes it breaks down.
That's true. We really are esports athletes.
I'm going to the Olympics.
All right. Heading through the woods, our party is going to come across a ritual of some kind, a large camp of some kind. It is in the forest, and there's a bunch of people here. There's like 80, 90 folks around. Yeah, there's humans. In fact, it seems to mostly be humans. There might be like a dwarf here or there or something like that, but it's almost entirely humans. We're gonna bring you to this map. No, it'll be fine. This is fine. All right. Since you're following your nose, you are off the trail. You're actually just through the woods. You are over here. The two of you following your noses until you come probably near the edge. And I'm imagining, you leave Schnickelfritz back a ways. I'm tied up to a tree off to the path, off the side. And the two of you are probably prone creeping towards what is now clearly the sounds of a large gathering of people until you get sort of to the top of this cliff face. And you can look over it. And you can see dozens of people. It's not so much a party as it appears to be maybe like a really grandiose funeral. There's these buildings that look like very temporary work structures and very temporary camping structures all over the place.
Yeah. Like a festival.
And way across. Almost. Yeah. And way across the way, beyond all these structures, is a little path. My map assets don't work, so we're just going to ignore that the trees don't match up. Just pretend they do.
Yeah.
There's this path that leads to a doorway that goes underneath this hill to the right side. Yeah. And out here as well, though I forgot to place it, there is, near this big fire, there is a bear trapped in a cage.
No.
And there's these
shit.
clerics standing around it. Actually, it's these clerics right here. I just forgot to put the cage down. The most important part of the entire, vision or thing that's happening. Got the cage. Not even have a cage. It's a wooden cage, but all I have is this metal cage for now. And there's a bear in this metal cage, and there's these clerics standing around the bear. And you can see, maybe you can see. Make me perception checks, both of you. Let me see what we can see. Nope.
Move, Grow. I can't see.
Grow. You can see each of these clerics, or these acolytes, or whoever these are, have a holy symbol of Ponos, the god of suffering. And as you're watching, another cleric will approach, the one with the red HP bar, and he will, in his hand, have a hot poker that he's pulled out of the fire, and he'll just reach in and stab at the bear, just causing it harm for the sake of causing it harm, while the other was around, chant very specific words and call out specifically to Ponos. And you're so close. Would you roll? You rolled a 28? That's better. You need at least a 25. You can hear some of the words that this cleric is saying as he stabs the bear with the hot poker. He's saying, Ponos, god of suffering, we offer you this bear. We bring his pain for all to see, so that you may witness the passing of one of your greatest disciples. And I'll stab at the bear again. Ponos, let the pain of this creature guide you to our rights. And he'll poke the bear again. And you, as you gaze around, you can see that this isn't the first time that they've done this. This bear is here, but like in the pot in the corner, underneath the area where you're hanging out right here, is like a stack of other animals that have been just brutally, tortured, just to get the god of pain to pay attention to whatever's happening here on land, as a method of drawing the god's attention. It's going to create a lot of suffering in a little area.
Got it. Okay. What's the racial composition of this? What are the demographics looking like of this
It appears to be
gathering?
predominantly human. You don't see any orcs or any goblins, which is
Okay.
something you would expect if it were like the army of
Varasi.
Varasi were doing something.
Yeah.
This doesn't appear to be like army affiliated or empire affiliated. Everything appears to be humans. There's a couple of dwarves lying around. There's no halflings, no elves. If there's a half elf there, they're hiding their half elf inside.
Okay.
But you see like nobles and fancy people. You see a couple of knights, and there are a couple of soldiers that are like watching the borders, and a couple of soldiers that are watching the tomb. But these might not be like empire soldiers. Maybe it's just like some local lords, infantry or something like that. And there's servants going around bringing food to people.
Okay.
It looks like they're getting ready. They're getting ready for something.
Growl's gonna change into orc form.
Mm-hmm.
Wait. Look what they're doing to the bear.
There's nothing we can really do about it, Grow. There's so many of them.
This is where I'm supposed to be. This is where Nadinus wants me to be. That bear. That's the fear that I smelled in my dream. That must have been him.
I shrug. Yeah, probably. But what can us two do?
I mean, I was in a cage almost just like this just a couple of days ago. We have to free him.
They stab the bear again with the hot poker, and then the cleric returns to the fire to reheat the poker.
We would need a miracle in order to do anything here. Look around. We didn't set up an ambush like we did for you guys. We didn't catch him by surprise. There's like 500 noble people here as well. I harken back. Yeah, we would need a miracle, like a true act of God, to do anything here.
But we can't just leave him there. What do you want us to do, to turn away? Nadinus wants us to be here. This is where we went. This is what I've been dreaming of the entire time. There's something for us here.
I could open the cage. I kind of take a glance, Neil. I move past the bear this time and take a glance. It's a wooden cage. Is there a lock on it?
Cage. It's not like a metal padlock. There's just like a piece of
Like a
wood that
latch?
goes through. Just like a simple. Any human could undo this even
Yeah.
if they were inside the cage. It's just the bear doesn't have
It's a fucking bear.
the bear. It's not a smart bear like Growl. It's just a regular bear.
I can get the bear out of there easily, Growl. But then we're gonna need to make a break for it. Maybe pray to your god again. I don't know if we're just here to get the bear out. What is this whole thing? And what are you gonna expect? Just me run down there, get the bear? What if they tackle me and then I die?
Obviously, that wouldn't work. Then you would be dead.
That's right. But what were we sent here for?
No, there's meat being roasted, right? They're making food and stuff. Like everything fits. It looks like, aren't they just here to torture the bear? Isn't that the only reason they're here?
I look around. As I look over the camp, is it just this is the torture site?
Well, sort of, but this is also appearing to be a freshly constructed tomb. You can see lumber that's been split to hold things. There's stones that have been piled up.
Yeah.
These stones over by the tomb have recently been erected. These ones are in place but haven't been lifted up yet. And there's like fresh dirt that's been pulled out from under here and stones that have been laid inside. Like this is probably a burial ceremony for someone that they want to draw the goddess of suffering
to, you know.
Yeah.
Are tombs usually hidden?
Depends on the tomb. This isn't too terribly far off the road. If it's a tomb that people are supposed to go and pay their respects at, you wouldn't necessarily want it to hide it. And this isn't far off the road. You found this pretty fast. There's some different signs, like they're building these monuments out front of it. So this is, yeah.
So then I'm more going under the fact of this isn't a hidden tomb where they just buried a guy with all of his fucking magic shit. What do you want me to do, Growl?
A lot of people to bury someone. This is a fancy ass burial.
I think I still look at the bear. It's still causing me distress, but I'm also accepting the fact that I probably can't change that right now.
Yeah, they skewered again. Come the weak cries of the old female bear.
We should find out what else they're doing here. Why are they here?
All we can do is sit here and wait and watch.
Has to be a
Seems
reason.
like they're here for some burial.
Burial? Some burial?
Your goddess brought us here for a reason, and now we're here. I shrug. This is the time that I would try to talk to him.
All right. I'm going bear mode.
Ooh.
And I'm leaning in. I'm feeling the trees. I'm hearing them. I'm hearing the wind go through the leaves. I'm diving into the stream.
He's hearing the bear get poked.
Oh,
Mm-hmm. You gonna try and talk to your goddess?
I would like to, yes.
Right. Are you doing this in the same spot overlooking the camp? Or are you in a different location?
We're probably trying to move a little bit out of the way, probably, huh?
I would just say let's just do it here.
Okay. As long as there's no chance of us being spotted or whatever, I guess it's fine. As long as we're like.
I mean, as
properly
long
hidden.
as nobody walks the 60 feet up and around this little incline.
Yeah. What are the odds of that? Okay.
What are the odds?
What are the odds? I'm gonna
I'll
roll
handle
some odds
that
right now.
if there is.
All right. I will try to get in tune with Nadinas. I'll try to talk to her one more time.
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna turn you into a turbo bear to bring wrath on these people.
Give me wisdom check, Growl. You pass the first 2 checks to commune with your deity.
Here it
Now
is.
the pressure's on.
Oh!
Natural 20.
Yeah. You can feel the rustling of the grass, the insects crawling in and out of your ears. Just, normally, not like in a gross way. Because you're a bear, you've got big ears and they're furry. You can feel that you've been drawn here for a reason. It's not to save the bear.
Mm-hmm.
You've been drawn here because of who's being buried. A natural 20, I wasn't going to give you so much information. I was going to kind of leave it a bit of a mystery and you guys were going to figure it out over time. But on the check to figure this shit out, you literally rolled a 20. So I can't not share this information with you. The person who is buried here is a person who has caused great and immeasurable suffering to the creatures of Nadinas. The person who's being buried here is a monster of humanity. Sort of person who you would who would torture animals in honor of them as you're burying them. That's the sort of person that's being entombed here. Nadinas is drawing your attention to it. Can't tell you why that is. Maybe it's a test. Maybe she's like, here's a situation, what are you going to do with it? Or maybe there's something here for you. Or maybe there's some revenge that you can... I don't know. I do know, but you don't know. But you've been brought here because of the monster in the ground.
Okay.
Yeah. Your eyes, as you wake up from your feeling, your eyes like flash up and you see that door that's guarded by those 4 guards across the way, and you're just like staring at them. And that swirl of your vision earlier, that's that Pono swirl.
Yeah.
It's that pain and suffering cycle.
Okay. I relay this to August. I guess I'm a bear again. I've used up like all my I have one more transformation.
You're about to be a gnome.
Yep. In a slightly higher voice, I relay this information to August, and I tell him that it seems like the most important thing here is the person being buried, and we have to probably. Do you think we can maybe sneak in with them? Do you think we can maybe see the tomb, the burial? There's something with this person being buried. He's horrible.
Yeah, let's just camp out a few days. We know where this is, and let's wait for them all to leave. And then we can go in there and check it out. We can take the body to nature so Nadinas can have her way with him. I kind of shrug. Maybe there's something in there for you. We can't just go in there now, though.
Can we just pretend that we're there for the burial? That we're part of the group?
I'll take a look over. Does it look like people are like going in to see the body?
Oh, yeah.
And they're just like letting people?
Yeah, the guards are on the tomb, and there's a line of people led by a cleric, and they all walk in. And there's some other people that are moving to finish building up with the stones. Like it appears that this is all in process, and everyone here is either working on it or they're here to pay their respects or here as part of the funeral in some way.
Does it look like everybody knows everybody, or are there like different groups of people?
Yeah, there's like, this cleric who's talking to these priestesses, and there's these 4 people over here who are just like having a nice conversation. And, you got like these 4 who are chatting amongst themselves. It appears that people are like conversing with one another in the way that this isn't like a funeral where you show up at 9:30 and everyone leaves by 11. This is the sort of thing where you've come out and you're going to take a couple of days to do this grand event, and then everyone's going to go home. You get the vibe that, like, especially with the clothes that are on display, these must be people who are connected to the dead person in some way, shape, or form. So there's going to be some overlap. Yeah.
So I feel like if I just show up and I'm like, oh yeah, I know Uncle Tommy here, there's going to be some problems, Yeah,
I mean,
That's
you wouldn't even know
getting.
who to say is being buried. Right? If you don't know their name, that's going to come out pretty fast in conversation.
Yeah,
Hard
I mean,
pretend
I'll
to be at a
listen
funeral
in
when you don't know the
here.
dead person's name.
where I am, and I'll see if I can eavesdrop on these people to hear like, oh, Lord so-and-so was such a good man,
Yeah, why don't you give me another perception check there, buddy?
Here you go.
Oh. Sorry. Must be all the concussions you've had in your life from being a fighter.
Yeah.
Unlucky.
I'll say, Growl, listen in. Can you hear who it is?
I mean, you want a perception check?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Classic.
No idea.
Yeah, Growl, I don't know. I mean, we shouldn't risk our lives to go immediately. This guy's going to be buried here for a long time. Let's give it a few days, and we can come back when this whole event's over.
I just feel like there's a reason that we're here now and not later. It feels like it's urgent.
What do you want to do, buddy? How about we give it a night? This is obviously going to last a few days, and let's see if you have another dream.
I feel like everything that Nadina's can tell me, she's already told me. I think we need to find a way into the tomb.
Okay, maybe at night there will be less guards. Maybe we can sneak in then.
Okay. No, I like that idea.
Let's get a bit out of here.
Can we move away from the screaming bear, please?
Yeah, we'll go a bit of ways in the woods, Neil. We'll camp out for the day, and then at night we'll come back and see what's up.
Now, we're just off the road down here in these woods. And so if you wanted, you could get to this village or this village and sleep, in a warm, safe place for the night and come back if you wanted to. There's no reason that you have to spend
come
the
back
night
at
in the
night.
woods. Okay.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with Schnickel Fritz? Because you're not that far off the road. You're less than a mile. So if you just tie the horse up on the road, someone's going to find him.
I'll ride Schnickel Fritz to Sundem. I'll get him lodging for the day,
Yeah.
and I'll walk back.
Okay, perfect.
I'll get a torch, too.
Excellent. All right, well, you can come back, and you can wait until night falls. And you're waiting from a nice, safe distance. And when night falls, you can creep your way back. And I'm not going to rearrange where all of the tokens are, because that would take too long.
Yeah.
But you can see that the final bits are finished. The standing stones are fully to their height, and everyone's gathered around in a large circle. And there are the animals that have been tortured to death that are being served up, still somewhat raw to everyone. And now that everyone's gathered together, you can actually get numbers. There are 50 mourners. There are 20 performers and cooks and servants. There are 10 foot soldiers, 3 knights, and 8 clerics here. The knights and clerics have HP bars over their heads, so and the soldiers also have HP bars.
As I look across, who's on the tomb? Sorry.
Everyone's facing the tomb right now, so there's no one standing in front of it. The whole whole ceremony is like in this chunk right here,
And they're
everyone's
looking right
lined
at
up, and they're all staring directly at the tomb as they perform the final rites. And a cleric is leading them in some sort of offering. And by the time you're here, like it's been going for a while. You've come at night, and they must have started the ceremony near sundown. It's kind of wrapping up. Some of the servants are moving and like taking away the plates that everyone had that's like dripping with the blood of the animals that they've recently butchered for this purpose. And there's some torches. And finally, a cleric will hold up, a snake in the sky, and then like bring the snake down and let it bite him on the arm and collapse to the ground. And everyone will chant in a big swelling motion, a swelling tone, before it all dies down. And the cleric, gets up and tosses the snake into the field and grasps his arm, and with an end, everyone begins to return to the camp. Some people stay in the buildings, some people stay in tents, but the ceremony ended. People come back, drink some wine, rest for a moment.
It's time to sneak
talk
in.
a little bit.
Come on, Grout. It looks like it's dying down. It's a good time.
All right, I'm still in gnome form.
You're gonna want to stay in gnome form.
Yeah. Let's go.
I'm going to move all the people's
Commence sneaking.
All right. The two of you, I'm just going to move you to the south side. Sneak around the whole camp, taking a nice good distance around. And you come up towards this area. You can see that one person has drawn a short straw and is going to guard the tomb tonight. And you can see that the door on the tomb has been shut and sealed. And there's just this one person, it's one tired guard who's sort of leaning against it in the moonlight as everyone else is back in camp, kind of resting and relaxing. Now, the camp's not that far, right? It's only like 100 and some feet from the tomb entrance. It's pretty close. If something goes wrong, if combat breaks out, even if no one says anything,
Yeah.
the sounds of combat will easily be heard from that distance. But here you are, gazing at the one person left on guard, while everyone else takes a rest after a long tomb building time.
Okay. Let's see. I mean, it's just one god, right?
One guard. 18 AC.
What armor is he in?
He's wearing banded mail with a shield. That's pretty good defensible armor. You estimate his
No,
AC
that's
to be
not
around
what I'm worried
18.
about.
I am
Trying to think if I could get in something to like, hey, it's your turn to sleep.
I turn towards August, and I'm like, "Hey, no, you don't have to do this, right? You can just leave."
I'm gonna help you out. Give me a second to think. I look back towards the camp sneakily. Do I see like a shield left out, like that's like propped up against like maybe an outside of a tent, or do I see some armor or anything like that?
A 2. No, everyone's put away their gear appropriately for the night.
During the ceremony, did the cleric call out any of the noble people there by name?
No. By the time you arrived, it was already starting to wrap up. The only names that you would have heard would have been Ponos, your faithful servant,
Okay.
blah, blah, blah.
Is there a group of people still out hanging around?
Yeah, in camp, there's definitely some stragglers who are taking time to get down for the night. The
I'm gonna
campfires are still
listen
burning.
for a name. I just need any name.
Okay. I will give you one more perception check as you creep near camp.
27.
Actually, make me a dex check as well.
Okay. Natural 1 on the dex check.
Yeah. They get a perception check, and now they need a perception stat. No, it's fine. They don't notice. You can catch a name. It is one of the. It's a collection of these fancy-ish noble people who are talking, and one of them gestures to the other. You got a 27? Yeah.
Yeah.
One of them gestures to the other and says, Rodney, could you pass the wine bottle, please? And Rodney says, no. That was the last drops. This is our last drink. Is that the name you're looking for?
I was looking for a family name, but that'll work for my plan, I think. If that's what I got, that's what I got. It's better than nothing. I'll go back to Grau and I'll inform him of my plan. All right, here's the plan. I'm going to say that my father, Rodney, wants me to guard the tomb for at least a little bit and to give him a break. Huh? It's a rite of passage to kind of, my dad wants Ponos to see me is basically it. That's the story I'm going to tell the guard. Now, if it works, he'll be gone for a little bit. We will be able to get into the tomb.
Huh?
So just wait here. But if anything happens, I'm not going to have my halberd. I think. Well, I'm here to guard the tomb. Maybe I should bring it. All right, it's fine. I'll go over there and have my chainmail on. I don't think I had banded mail that fit me. I remember we talked about taking it, but
you've
probably
got the
hadn't
mail.
Yeah. It probably would just still be on Schnickelfritz. I'm not going to bring it around with me, so I'm going to have my chainmail on. And I'm going to do like one of these, Neil, where you see there's a tree right here.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm coming from like the forest. I'll probably hop to this tree and then like go into camp and then go like I would like, this.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you're going to wait for the coast to be clear, I'm assuming.
Of course, yeah.
And then head up. Okay.
And I'm going to head up kind of like... if I see like a empty wine bottle or something on the way, I'll spill a little bit on me. Just like a teeny bit. Just so it looks like I've been taking in the merriment a little bit. And I will start walking up just confidently with my halberd, to my side and everything like that to the guard.
Okay.
I was watching this the entire time.
You can find an empty wine bottle, not a problem. You can, or a wine bottle and drop a little on your clothes.
Not like I'm a drunk, but like a little bit like I've been in there taking in the merriments.
Right. You can head down the road towards the lone guard the night after the tomb was sealed. And the guard will see you coming.
I give him a nod.
A die roll, which you don't have to worry about. Numbers to that. And you can see the guard furrows his brow as you approach.
I give him a nod. I put on my noblest accent and say, I sigh. My father is displeased with me and thinks that I need to do more humble duties in the eye of Ponos. So I'm here to take over your job for the next few hours of night. He thinks that I need to learn. Kind of shake my head a little bit.
Keeping watch at night is the realm of Ponos. That's for certain.
It's a hell worth
I don't recognize you. Who's your father?
Rodney? You know him, right?
He nods his head.
Of course.
You get here late?
Yeah, that's kind of why he's pissed off at me. I barely made the ceremony.
He muses to himself. I have to be here when they change out, though.
I nod.
Wouldn't do
Of
for the
course.
next person to,
Go have your few hours then we'll swap again. It'll give my father some ease. You kind of shrug. You know how these old men are.
Give me a charisma check.
Here we go.
All right. Natural one.
Oh my fucking
All right.
God.
The guard goes to grab the key at his side, the key that opens the door, and he looks at you, pauses, and he puts the key back on his belt and says, "If something happens, tell them I've got the keys." And then he'll head out on his own,
Wait,
leaving
he puts it on his side, right?
in his pocket, I should say. Yeah, it's not like it's on one of them stretchy things that I was imagining in my brain. He pulls the key out of his pocket, is about to hand it over to you,
Yeah.
and then puts the key back in. He's like, I don't know this guy well enough to give him the key to the tomb. But like, whoever's guarding the tomb is supposed to have the key, because then if
Of course.
there's an emergency and someone needs to get into it for some reason. But he doesn't trust you enough to give you the key, so he takes it. Leaves.
I will I'll kind of like stop him and like kind of grab him by the arm,
Yeah?
and I'll say don't do me the dishonor of leaving me keyless in case something neat happens. You know who's ever guarding it should have the key.
Yeah, but I don't know you.
You can go ask my father Rodney. I'll explain the station that I saw him in, and I'll hold out my hand. Just give me the key, go ask him, and you can come check back. Obviously, everything's going to be in the clear.
He shakes his head. You know, one thing to leave a locked and trapped tomb unguarded. It's another thing to hand the keys over to someone I don't know personally.
Okay.
Rao was watching
me
this
if I did
interaction.
I also have a question. When he goes to leave, how much noise is this going to make? I understand combat will make a ton of noise, but if I grapple him from behind, get him in a chokehold, and like put my hand over his mouth, that should be pretty quiet, right? And take him to the ground.
If you can succeed in grappling him and covering his mouth, it'll make the noise of a person in armor falling to the ground, which is audible, but it's also
But not enough to be like, let's go fucking check it out.
Yeah, it's not the sound of like steel clashing on steel. Now,
I do
granted,
that.
he might be able to, pull out a weapon and bang his shield eventually or something like that.
Sure.
Like, there's room for these things to escalate, but initially,
I am going to, when he turns around to go, chokehold, hand over mouth, and like throw my back to the ground to like, I might even get damaged, because I got a whole man falling on me. That's the goal.
look up some basic rules over here.
Got a tumbling proficiency.
So if you normally were to grapple this person from behind, you're behind him and he's not expecting the attack, so it would be coming at +4, right? It would be full
Yeah.
surprise. If you also want to put a hand over his mouth, though, that's going to be a little bit harder. And it's not just touching the mouth, it's holding onto the mouth. So
Yeah.
that would impose a penalty of 4
Strength check?
to try and grab his face. So it'll be an attack roll, a +4 for the surprise and everything, -4 for needing to grapple his mouth. And then if
Question
you
about this?
succeed,
What if I go for like a chokehold on his? Could he still scream out if I get it? Because the mouth isn't like 100% important. If I can just like choke the airway.
If it's a good and proper choke, then he's not going to be able to scream.
That's my goal.
But that's going to be a similar penalty to
fine.
hit. Yeah.
All right. Do you just want an attack with the glaive then?
No, I think the glaive, you've got some bonuses
To hit +1?
It's just a d20 +3. It's against AC 10, but that means you need a 7 or better on a d20.
What else am I gonna do, Neil?
Just
It's a miss.
Off by 1. You
Off
go
by
up
1.
behind him. You wrap your arms around him. You go for the chokehold. It's not going to work. You do grab hold
Not
of
gonna
him,
work.
but you're not going to get the choke. And
Can I
give
get
me
a
the
strength
opposed strength
check?
check? Yeah, to see if you can pull him to the ground. I'll even give you a +2 because you're coming at him from behind in an
23.
advantageous situation. You're 23 against his 21. You
Bring him
drag the
down.
guard to the ground.
Choke
And
him this
now
round.
we need to roll into initiative.
Grouse sees this from like a little bit far away. He sees this going down. He's
Do you want 3 for initiative here?
I do, yes.
Where's my character?
Here we go. You're over there.
I lost him again. I'm so sorry.
Human time.
Arrow's going to him.
Am I fucking blind? I'm so sorry. Ah, there
You
we go.
blind?
Okay. Yeah. I see him. Okay.
Oh, Growl. So slow.
Way too
Okay.
slow.
August, you're up first.
I'm gonna bring in the choke. What do you want?
Let's see, hold on. Your last attack, you rolled a 6 on. You know what? We're at our breaking point. Let's take a break. I'm going to read some rules. When we come back, we're going to sort it all out.
All right.
Okay, so we're in a fight. You're going to try and choke this guy out.
Fighting for my life.
Now, in red wrestling, not normally room for choking here, but because you're actively behind him, I think we can introduce choke, the series of locks that are here. There's locks for limbs and stuff. Why not have a lock for a neck?
For the neck.
The reason you can do this though is because you are behind. If you're wrestling him face to face, it's much harder to choke someone.
yeah.
You got to get all the way behind them. We're going to use the same standard procedures here, which is going to be opposed attack rolls against AC 10. You can get whatever bonus that you might have had for behind is going to be negated because you're going for a chokehold.
Got it.
So you just have to beat him in an opposed attack
roll?
roll against AC 10. If you score critical, you get bonuses. If he scores a critical, he
gets
reverses
bonuses.
not just bonuses, but he reverses it and slips out of your chokehold and is able to like hold on to you and pin you to the ground in some way, shape, or form.
All right.
So we're gonna get this person's base attack roll against your base attack roll. Here we go.
I need
roll a-
something big here.
12. You need better than a 12.
At an 11.
You don't.
Do I still keep it though? Or do you have to beat them?
If the attacker tries to improve his grip, make another thing. If both attacks fail, there's no change. If the defender wins, the attacker suffers D2 points of damage and the defender's position improves 1 place. So you try to get him in a chokehold, and as you move your hands to try and get around the neck, what he does is he ends up grabbing your fingers and bending them, backwards, stretching out the tendons more than possible, which will do the D2 damage. 1d2, 2 points. And his position improves from being held to being free.
Got it. Okay.
Bummer.
It's all right.
All right. And it is now the guard's turn. And I think he's a
He
good
would have
guard.
dropped his shield, correct? And his... Oh, yeah. It's over.
Yeah. He'll stand up and draw his sword and beat his sword against his shield for the round while taking a step back. And shout out, "Intruders!" as you do,
I run.
leaving it with Growl.
Okay. Well, fuck.
Yeah, this all went sideways real fast.
How the fuck are we gonna get into the tomb now?
Well, Ground, you'll have to worry about that later. Are you going to flee and leave August to his devices? Are you
Well,
going
no.
to run in and heroically rescue him? What are you going to provide some sort of epic distraction? Are you going to use your spells? What are you going to do, Grow? Rolled for movement. Right?
Yeah, I was planning to just pop into bear form and run down. Trying to think if I can set up an entangle where if people were to, if I just grab this key and run in, if I could like ward off people for a while. I mean, then I'd eventually just be fucked. I'm going into bear form, and the goal is just to cause fucking chaos and confusion as the bear.
Where?
I mean, it's dark. It's the night, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm running in as a bear.
Like into the combat between the two of these two?
Yeah,
Or into camp? Okay.
into the combat situation in hopes of like confusing and muddying the waters as to what the fuck even happened here.
Mm-hmm. All right. The shield and the sword clattering together. Intruders. A bear appears out of nowhere. You have enough movement, I think, to... No, you turn and run in. Perfect. And I think it's initiative for the next round as I roll checks to see who in camp wakes up. Okay, guards, knights, clerics all get rolls. Okay. Let's get some initiatives. It'll be fun.
I just don't think there's anything we can do. If we stay and try to be like, oh, I was protecting you from a bear, someone's gonna notice. I'm running.
Yeah, okay. I will follow your lead.
All right, roll me some initiative there, Grau.
Yeah.
Excellent. Grau, you are the first. You've come in. You're up in and around these things. You're causing chaos. Definitely. And now you just run out the other side.
I guess so. I guess
It's
that's
just
the plan.
The bear runs across the screen, screams
Yeah.
in the middle of it, and then just keeps going.
Exactly.
Right. August, the guard is backed up. He's watching you. You're still on your butt after the events of last round not going in your favor. But he's backed up. He's given you space while he keeps an eye on you.
I will I'll chase after the bear and yell at the fucker. We need to catch this thing. You're lucky that I pulled you away in time. And I'll run after the bear.
Okay.
I'll give you a charisma check too. I hate playing.
They're not going
I just
well.
roll so poorly. It just
Oh
feels
my
so
God.
brutal sometimes.
Sometimes
All
you
right.
just get nothing, man.
The two of you run off. There's a flurry of activity at the camp. You can't see it, but you know that people are being woken and gathering back. And that poor guard is standing there being like, yeah, this guy approached. He came from camp. He said he was so-and-so's son. And then he tried to choke me. And then a bear showed up and they all ran off that way. And like, he's got to explain this thing that happened. And maybe if they're good, they can find tracks in the ground. Maybe there's signs of a scuffle or something. But the two of you take off into the night and no one comes chasing after you.
I'm out of transformation, so I can't talk about the situation tonight. Not until sunrise.
Mm.
Well, Grau, we can come back, like I said, when the tomb's not guarded by everybody. But that's just not going to work. And I'll just keep walking to the nearby town.
We'll find a place to sleep. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You get to the nearby town the next morning, essentially, coming out of the dirt and dusty road to where Schnickelfritz is staying, and you can grab an inn for the day. Except Grau can't go into town as a bear.
Yeah, I have
Sunrise,
to sleep
you
in
can
the
swap,
woods.
yeah.
Yeah, he needs some rest though. Does he need rest, or does it come back at
I didn't think he
sunup?
needed rest. I thought it just came back, but I don't know.
I think it. It's a great. Can't remember. It so rarely happens that he's out of things and then stays up all night.
Well, I think as soon as the sun rises, I get my transformations back, right?
Okay, it's at sunrise, right? It's when the light of sun rests upon your bearish skin or something.
Pretty sure
like that.
that's
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
All right, so yeah, you can transform and come into town as a human or orc or whatever, and we can go and rest in the tavern. And it'll be a little while. It'll be a day resting in the tavern. You pay some money. It's already in your monthly expenses. Schnelkelfritz can stay another day. Already in the monthly expenses. The party can rest and recap the chaos that happened and what to do, if anything. Because also, there's always the option of just leaving this behind. Who cares about Nadinus, goddess of nature? What a useless goddess she is.
Well, I guess we're gonna rest for a while. And the next day, I'll talk to August about all this.
Yeah.
August, thank you for risking everything out there last night. This isn't your mission. This isn't your cause. You have nothing to do with this, and you have no reason to do this except that you're my, I guess, friend. I appreciate that.
Don't mention it.
I understand if this has become too much for you. I mean, they've seen you now and all that. But I think I really need to enter that tomb.
You're not going to get in until they're gone, and then we have someone to pick the lock. I don't know what else to tell you. You can go down there and commit suicide if you'd like, but I'm not doing that again.
I'm looking through my spell list right now. I got a lot of interesting level 2 spells. Describe the entrance of this tomb to me, Neil.
Well, it's a big rounded barrow, I think it's called. A big hill, and it's got like a stone framing across it, and a 10-foot wide entrance that's maybe 8 or 9 feet tall, and a big set of double doors made out of stone with a lock that's probably made out of metal. Do you need more of a description?
No, I think that's good. Okay. Does not affect dressed or work stone. Yeah, okay, I thought so. I feel like there's not much I can do to, like, get into this by force. If we wanted to get in, we would probably need the keys.
Yeah, or someone to pick it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the tomb was, like, open to visitors during the day, right?
Earlier it was open to visitors, yeah.
I feel like... But it did seem like only people of a bit of a more... Like, it's not a super public thing, right? This is like an inner circle
Yeah.
type of deal.
Yeah, it's like a mile or so off the road in the woods. It's not like there was a road sign that said tomb of so and so this way, come bring a gift.
What did you... When you talked to... You heard some people talk and you talked to the guy a little bit. What did you find out anything?
Just there's a nobleman down there named Rodney. That's all I really know.
Rodney. Mm-hmm.
Could ask around town of whose tomb it is, but again, as I'm telling you, you're just gonna get yourself killed. We don't have anybody to pick the lock. You're not a noble person, so you can't go down there. They're probably gonna remember me.
Yeah. And surely there's a way for us to get in, or at least for me to get in during the day. If we
Yeah,
find
maybe
out
if you
enough,
could transform into a spider or something like that, that'd be real nice.
if we find out enough about this guy, I could probably pretend that I'm there to visit him.
How would you find out about this guy?
Oh, wait. Nadinus told me that this man has caused a lot of harm to the creatures of Nadinus. I could go into the forest and talk to some of the creatures.
You think squirrels and whatnot are going to know this person's name?
Probably not. But, like, if we find out enough context of what this guy's done, maybe it leads us somewhere to someone who might know more about it, like a person.
Okay.
Because it seems like, in terms of causing harm and suffering and damage around here, this guy was a pretty big deal.
It appears to be so.
Yeah.
I'll call over the bartender.
Yeah. Bartender comes on over. What can I get for you, chaps?
Who's the big funeral along the way for?
Oh, for Father forgot his name? Father didn't write his name down?
Horace?
Father Hinton.
You just letting anybody go and visit it?
Makes a furrowed brow. Who the hell would want to visit that torturing son of a bitch? You know,
What'd
he's
that guy
the
do anyways.
he's the head interrogator. Or was the head interrogator
Oh Jesus.
for the Empire in this part of the area. Died recently, a couple months back. Old age. Terrible way for a man like that to go.
You hate to see it.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have a pint.
Yeah, he brings you pint.
There you go, Grow.
Okay, the head interrogator for the Empire.
Father Hinton.
Father Hinton. I mean, shouldn't this be enough? Like, are they really gonna ask our names and our backstory at the gate? Like,
The guard from last night, if he sees me, he'll... I shrug. He might not remember me. It was dark out. I was behind him. He didn't see me for too long. I can change up my accent to just be like this.
and maybe you could also wait, and I will go in. I think I can make up a story.
Sure.
All right. Grow's gonna go in by himself.
That's fucking right. I'm going back to the camp.
Well, I mean, I'll follow, and I'll do a perception check to see if I can see the guy. He was the night guard. He's probably sleeping during the day. I think it's fine if I go with him.
So you left that night. You got to town in the morning. Went into town, slept for like 8 hours. Probably spent the rest of the day resting in town, and you're heading back the next night. Or are you leaving in the afternoon to get back there at sundown? Or are you going to wait until morning and then come back a full day later? What is our timing here, and where is the horse?
Horse is gonna stay here. I think that we should probably come back the next day. So we leave, we come back. It's the morning. We're at the new town. We stay the entire day / night, and we come back the next morning when they're letting people probably normally come in.
Right. So you'll leave in the morning. You'll get there by mid-afternoon or something.
I think that's fine.
Grau, how's that work for you?
That would be my plan as well. Yes.
Okay. Here's the plan. You
I'd
guys
like to-
head back. Yeah.
I'll be in orc form for this.
Okay. As you guys make your way down the road, back in the direction of this area, because you know where the turnoff on the road is, and some of these landmarks are getting a little familiar now. You're going to see some folks that you recognized from the tomb on the road and heading in your direction. Like
Okay.
people that were there visiting. And they've got their servants carrying their packs, maybe a wagon or stuff draped over a horse. And they're just walking the opposite direction on the road. You just pass a couple of them.
Are we late? Is the viewing still, are they still accepting?
They look over at you. Late? Were you even invited?
Spit over my noble accent.
They continue on the road, chuckling to themselves about these lowly commoners who think that they could be invited to such a grand funeral.
How many people are here?
The group that you're passing is only 4 people. It's a small section.
Are there knights with them or anything, or no?
No, it's 2 fancy people and they're 2 servants.
Brow. I need to blow off some steam real quick.
Why?
Okay? Do you mind?
No.
I continue on.
Garp wouldn't have continued on, but August does.
That's
You get to the turnoff. You pass a couple of other people go, and this time it's like 6 people, no servants. They're headed out. You can follow their tracks. You can head back in the direction of the camp. 2 of you can arrive on this northern part of the road. We're on the right page? We're on the right page. Grau, you said you're in orc form?
That's right.
Okay. The 2 of you arrive. I'm going to remove about this many folks. This. Okay. Yeah, you come on through the forest. There's 2 guards and 1 knight hanging around still. This knight's gone. There are 1 cleric remaining. Just a couple of other random miscellaneous people who are taking their time to pack up. They look more like workers than they do fancy folk. And they're just packing up the rest of this place, disassembling these buildings, pulling up stakes. They're not going to leave this temporary infrastructure here. It all has to be torn down. And so they're doing the hard labor of breaking down the temple construction site.
Okay.
Just walk through.
Yep. Just like we belong here.
Both of you just walking on through.
Yep.
Okay. The guards will, as you come, will kind of turn from their conversation with the knight and look in your direction as the 2 of you approach. And they will move to block the path.
I will speak in a noble accent and say, we're here for Father Hinton's viewing.
I'm sorry, the tomb's been sealed already. You've missed it.
No, it can't. It can't be. There must be a way.
Sealed up nice and tight. I mean, if you try to get in there, you'll probably die.
What do you mean?
Well, it's a tomb. It's like a dungeon.
Oh.
It's not easy access. You know what I mean?
So you've already sealed it?
Yep. Sealed it up nice and tight.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Grau.
Tighter than a prince's virginity.
Let's go.
Oh, it was worth a try.
Ooh, MrMouton, roll me a d10 and do not roll a 1 or a 2. Okay, it's fine. Neither of these are the guard who you saw before. The 2 of you can take off. least back up to a spot where you can talk properly.
If the tomb being sealed, I assume this. It doesn't. It means it's no longer just a door, right? It's like they pushed a huge rock in front of it.
No, it probably means, or if you ask this to August, he can tell you that it means that like it's been locked and it's not being opened anymore.
And now there's traps inside.
Yeah.
If you're asking me, Grab, what we should do is, did we see any noble people left, or was this all like?
It's mostly laborers. There are a couple of fancy folk remaining, like a cleric and an acolyte.
We should wait for the cleric and the acolyte to leave, and if they don't have 3 knights with them, we should take them by surprise and, honestly, get information out of them and then kill them. These are terrible, terrible people.
We're torturing the bear.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it takes.
Could give us good insight into the tomb that we're going to raid later, of course. I'll wait along the road.
Yeah.
No Schnickelfritz.
Well, the next day, the other fancy folk leave. The last of them do. And then it's just a matter of the remaining laborers, the remaining cleric, the remaining acolyte.
Wait, the other fancy
remaining
folk
knight.
leave? How many?
It's like 2.
Any knights with them?
No.
Okay, yeah, we're going to take those 2 as well. These are terrible
Yeah.
people.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a lot of terrible people in the world.
Yeah,
You
I
can go
they
about
all
hacking people to
gathered
bits
up
all the
here,
time.
and I'm grabbing them right now. Why not? They're here.
Okay, they're
These are
walking down the
terrible
road.
nobles. Yeah, I hold my halberd to them, and I say, come with me or you're going to die.
And Grow's in orc form.
Growl is a fucking bear, growling them down, staring them down, ready to pounce at anyone who fucking moves a single muscle.
So there's a human with a halberd and a mean bear that step out of the woods as these 2 fancy folks are like headed back to town together. And they look incredulous. Like that sort of, do you know who I am? Look as you level the halberd at them.
When I get that, I stab one in the leg. Just
Roll to
like,
hit.
boom.
Yeah. They react with surprising agility
Good.
and step back. They get the impression that like this person probably knows how to handle themselves in a fight. Many nobles have been trained in the art of warfare. And then their hands go up. You wouldn't dare. Do you know who we are?
Come with me now. Follow me,
Or what, knave?
or I will kill you.
You're going to regret this, they say, as they raise their hands and walk in your direction.
Into the woods.
If your bear so much as farts on us, we'll have his hair plucked out one by one, have him performing naked in the circus before we rip him to shreds in the Colosseum.
Yeah. Come on. You know how it goes. Ransom and all. We'll bring him into the woods, and then I'll tie him up.
Yeah, you guard these people into the woods. You can pull out some rope, and as you go to tie them up, they don't accept the tying up. They don't cooperate.
Then
They
I will
don't strike you, but they definitely don't make it easy for you.
definitely I'll
No,
strength
put
check
that
him
rope
then.
away. I'm coming with you. There's no need for this.
29 on the strength check.
Yep. You can grab hold of them and begin to wrap the ropes around them without their volunteering.
Good,
My
good.
God. What is the meaning of all this? What do you want from us? Ransom?
Kind
Is
of
that it?
shrug. Penance? What do you want, Growl?
Well, I'm not gonna transform in front of these guys.
Yeah.
I'm gonna barely, with bare gestures, gesture towards the fucking tomb.
Yeah. Wait, did you say you are transforming in front of them?
I am not.
And then using bear just
No,
okay.
no. I'm just a bear, and I'm heavily pointing towards the tomb with my claws.
He wants to
and
know
my-
what's in the tomb besides the man who was buried there.
The man who was buried. What else did you put in a tomb?
Perhaps? His
Certainly.
belongings?
Certainly.
Explain.
It's a tomb, you fool. Do you need me to spell it out to you?
I stab him in the leg.
What sort of... Ow!
Don't give me an attitude. Please, explain.
I don't know. I didn't build it myself. Do I look like a day laborer to you? I came to pay respects to a great man. Sometimes a terrible man, but a great man nonetheless. My respects have been paid.
You'll die for them.
For what? Knowing people in high places? I'm going to die for my station in this world?
That's right. I nod.
Growl,
Happy with that.
Usual.
Growl growls and tries to stop you.
I'm not killing him.
Okay. Growl wants to draw. There's like dirt, right?
Mm-hmm.
Draws a box on the ground and an arrow pointing inside.
Oh, he wants to know how do we get
Darling,
in.
I think this bear is trying to communicate with us.
He wants to know how to get in the
Don't be
tomb.
silly. Well, you go through the door, of course. They continue
kinda
to
what I
sass you
figured, yeah.
aggressively.
Who has the key?
Well, I believe the high priest has the key.
And what is his name? Or her name?
Mother Geneva.
Then it'd be a high priestess. I correct them. And when are they
Wait
departing?
a minute. Didn't they say something about a man with a halberd and a bear? Well, a couple nights
Surprise.
ago.
That's me.
What is your interest in Father Hinton's grave?
Kind of shrug. The bear's interested.
They look to the bear again. They look at the drawing. You drew a box and an arrow. That's like
Mm-hmm.
It's intelligence,
It's
yeah.
advanced shit.
it's yeah. The well-to-do folks look at each other and begin to whisper quietly back and forth.
What are they saying?
They're whispering.
They're
trying to make
I lean in.
They stop
There's
whispering.
no secrets here. I hold the halberd to one of their necks. What did they say? I'm curious.
She simply said, "Maybe this bear is one of the fireflies."
What do you think, Grow? Should we let them go? Okay. I kind of put my hands together. And what are we going to do with them?
He's very frustrated. He's walking in circles, pawing the ground. It feels like he's so close to finding more stuff out about his past and you just can't. There's just this...
What's the priestess's name again?
Mother Geneva.
Mother Geneva. And who does she travel with?
She travels with an entourage of knights and warriors.
I sigh.
What did you expect? That you were just going to apprehend us upon the road, and all the riches of the world were going to fall into your hands?
Oh no,
Think
you
again.
two are dead. It is just a matter of time.
Girl shakes his
Kill
head.
us. They will come for you.
We don't care.
You will. Do you know who's being buried there? Do you know what his
Spare me
apprentice would like to do to you?
Spare me the tales. Grout, will you go and get our friend and bring him back? I wish to speak with him.
He runs into the woods. He transforms into a human. He walks back. Hello. Oh, what's
Oh,
what's
jolly.
what's
Another one.
What do you want to do with
here?
these two?
Wait, well, as a
Young man, before you say anything you can't take back, you kill this person, I'll pay you 1,000 gold.
Growl cocks his head to the side. Were any of these people who were like tied up here? Any of these guys directly involved with like the torture of the bear?
No, that was just like acolytes and a cleric. These were just, partiers and onlookers, enjoyers of the
The torture.
circus.
I pull him to the side. I pull August to the side.
1,000 gold, young man. Think what you could do with it.
I don't think we should kill them.
Well, they can't possibly be let go because I said your name multiple times. And they know who we are and they know what we look like.
Okay. There's lots of people looking for us already, right?
Why do you care about these people?
I feel like a lot of trouble that humans get into is because one of them like kills one of them, and then another, and then because you killed one of them, the other one kills the other one instead, and then you go back and forth killing each other until you have a situation where one group of people is being hunted by another people because 1,000 people killed each other. Do you not think that we could maybe run into less problems if we stop doing stuff like that?
Kind of think for a moment. So what do you want to do? Just let them go?
We just let them go. We come back to the tomb another time.
Sure, we can do that. But when they come after us, I'm going to call you a few names in the future. Because they're going to. And they're also going to tell people that we're interested in the tomb. And if you really want in there, I shrug. I don't really care. I'm just trying to help you out. Two people died in the woods in a bear attack. It happens all the time.
Actually, it doesn't happen all the time. We bears don't really go attack humans at all. It's a stereotype. I was gonna walk up to the guys one more time. Hello. I feel like we got off on the wrong foot.
Yes. Well?
I was squatting in front of them. So, listen, okay? I don't want to kill you or that guy for 1,000 gold. I don't want to kill anyone. It's not... I don't do that. I know some of you do that with some gods, and some gods think it's cool if you kill or like torture people. I don't do that. Okay?
I understand.
But like killing and torturing is like really important to you guys, I think. But I also have a god, and he has important things going on too. And for me, it's really important to get into this tomb, and look at some of the stuff in there.
I see. It's a much more reasonable stance, wouldn't you say? Well, the tomb's been sealed, and I don't think there's any way that you can get in. Maybe if you stole the keys or find a way to pick the lock or got a wizard to cast a knock spell or some other mumbo-jumbo, you could get in through the door, and then you would proceed to be slaughtered by, the traps, magical and mundane, that undoubtedly pepper the tomb. Not that I know what they are. I wasn't part of the construction project. And then, for what? For some simple loot? I'm sure 1,000 golds could buy whatever it is that you could find within the confines of that soon to be damp and dingy tomb.
1,000 gold doesn't buy a Feedmaster 3,000, so I don't.
It does actually.
Wait, wasn't it like some crazy amount, like 3,000 gold or something?
I thought it was like 750.
Maybe. Regardless. Okay, so there's traps in there, so it's probably guarding something important. He thinks for a moment. Let me ask you something, fellow human.
Yes, fellow human.
Imagine if our situations were reversed right now. Let's say I was, hanging out somewhere and having a normal party, and you came up because you really needed to go to my normal tomb and you needed to torture someone in there, right? But then we sealed off the tomb and you can't, and now you're mad that,
Yes.
and now you try everything you can because you really need to torture someone, right? So you pick someone off the road and you tie them up and, now you feel like maybe you're threatened by them because, like, if I let you go, or if he's trying really hard to think in hypotheticals right now because this is a new thing to him. If you let me go because I'm tied up, you would be in trouble, kind of, right? Because I could go to my normal friends who don't torture people and, make you get captured and not torture you.
Uh-huh.
That would be... What would you do in my situation?
Oh, right. If I had captured someone important, with a long reach, deep pockets, then I realized the grave error of my ways. I would untie them, deeply apologize for any mistakes, beg their forgiveness, and make myself seem as small and insignificant and not worth the time as possible. After all, only people worth the time are truly sought and hunted down. But someone who made a terrible mistake and has understood the error of their ways and makes things right, well, who has time to track them down? Better things to do with life.
He's not even really trying to lie to me, right?
What do you mean?
How do I...
It's a reasonable statement, right?
Well, it's what... Okay, well, Grau's not actually trying to get advice from this guy, right? He's just trying to assess how, like, truthful this guy is being in this situation.
Right. Yeah, that seems like a pretty... Whether that's truthful or that's what he wants from you, it doesn't appear to be a... Give me a charisma check real quick, Mr. Grau. This will be a good answer. Oh, yeah, it's 100%. This is exactly what he would do in the situation. No questions asked. He would just untie the person and grovel.
It's not that kind of session.
No, it's not.
Well, I tried really hard to find a justification in Grau to kill these guys, but...
Old Blood Grau, is that who you are?
Nope.
Defenseless? No weapons, no armor, no threat?
August hates these people. I want everyone to know that. He hates who they are. He hates what he used to be. Mm-hmm. He hates nobility at this point. And these people are everything that he hates about him. But he's going to go with what Grau wants. But he is going to ask him a few questions. So while Grau ponders the philosophy of killing more humans and whatnot, he'll ask, you said you have long reach. Do you know who Wattis Thresh is? It's the person who cursed me.
Okay, I was trying to find that name. They look very surprised when you give this name. How do you, common brigand, know that name?
I'll swap over to my Giga Noble accent. I'm no common brigand. and I'm currently in search of that person because they did something wrong to me and another.
Oh my. Darling, I think we might actually be in some level of trouble now. Yes. Yes, I know the Archmage of Valesburg.
Finally, some information that is interesting to me.
I mean, I don't know them personally. We're not friends. Not that they would have friends, but...
Okay. Thank you. That's more than any gold you could give me, I think. They're in Valesburg, you said, and they have no friends?
Well, Valesburg is the base of our operations. Orc is an honorific, meaning highest wizard in the area. But these days they travel around doing the Lord's work, as it may be, keeping the unruly locals in check.
Got it.
Quite good friends with Father Hinton here.
Oh, they're quite good friends with Father Hinton?
What is Thresh? Arc Thresh, yes?
Yes.
Yes. One does the torturing and the interrogating, and the other, extra magical means to ensure compliance. You know, how do you one say? The soft power and the hard power, the asking and the telling.
I see. What are your two names?
We are Lord and Lady Liar. Leier, not the other liar. Liar is it?
Do I know them?
No,
Never
heard of
them.
these
Small
fucking names.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
but they would have heard
they're
of my
probably
parents.
from a part of the world that you've never been from. Maybe there's somebody in the capital or somewhere around there, but like, you know, some fancy pants somewhere.
Okay. I'll look over to Grau, but not say his name, and say, well, what do you want to do?
I say we let them go. I think this is a dead end.
I nod. Well, give me a moment, Lord and Lady. Sorry. I'll
It's
whisper.
an odd accent. Where are you from, young man?
Valenskar. I'll whisper in Grau's ear and say, do you mind healing his leg? I think that would go to smooth some things over. I'll just call you Father and they'll think you're a cleric.
I cast Cure Light Wounds.
Okay.
Yep. Leg stitches together for the damage that had been dealt.
You can tell your friends that August Nefarious is looking for, looking around. And I'll undo their hands and gauge their reaction. I assume they just don't know because they're so small.
Ooh, with a 4 and a 1 on their heraldry checks, they're not familiar with the Nefarious family.
Okay.
Which means that they're not from your particular region, at least. They're definitely from a different area.
That's nice. At least we got some information and we got a dungeon to do. So, I'll let him go. Again, sorry about your leg. Hopefully my cleric healed it up for you, and apologies.
Well, hard world being what it is, I understand. They get up, they dust themselves off. Is there any other beatings or interrogations to be done?
No, that's it. Maybe bring some guards with you next time. You two are very important, obviously.
They get up and they head back towards the road. And I feel like we're coming to the end of our session here. It sounds like maybe this is time to regroup with the rest of the party and do this tomb as a whole unit.
I think so.
Seems like the next step. Yeah, we need. either-
There's like maybe a play at like it's nighttime. We go into the camp of this cleric and steal the keys.
Yeah, but
But I
feel
don't
we
even
just-
think we need to do that.
if we want to get the store
So-
open, we can.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll leave
All right.
it there.
Well, we will wrap up our session right here then. We will be back next week with a full Outcast session. And we will also, in the meantime, at the start of next session, do experience. Because I've been
Thank
tallying it up. And it's been a
God.
long time since we've had a nice long break
Augers.
where everyone can get together and get some XP. And we are just about there. So we'll get
You want to just
experience
hand it
next
out
session.
now?
Don't you want to do it all with everyone else together?
No. I think I deserve mine now, of course.
But
But if you want to do it then, it's totally fine.
let's do it then. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Cool. See you guys next week. Bye.
Ciao.
Bye bye.